everybody, we're back in the Big Little Garden. It's July 1st, I think?
Yes.
Yeah, wow, where did June go? Everybody's asking about how to deadhead their salvia and what to do about their penstemon. And so I'm going to show you both today. So let's start with the Salvia Caradonna. This is Salvia nemerosa, cultivaris Caradonna, very, very popular, extremely beautiful. What you can see is I have two plants here, and yesterday I deadheaded this one. So right in here you can see this is what it's going to look like after, and this is kind of the before. So what you're looking for is these tall spent blooms, and we're going to take our clean pruners and go right down to the first new shoot of growth and just snip it off. And what this is going to do is you'll see there's new growth that will produce, and they won't get this large. The first flush of growth is always the largest, but this will continue to bloom for the next month or so. So just cleaning it up, very, very simple. Sometimes it's unclear how far down you're going to go, so on this one you want to follow all the way down to where you see the new growth coming out and just snip that off. My feeling is it's fine to even go a little bit further down wherever you cut, as long as you're cutting above as long as you're cutting above 2 leaves. That's going to stimulate lateral growth, and you will eventually get some bloom from that. So you can see on this one, this is pretty much spent. So I'm going to take this whole stem off. Let me put these down. I'm going to take this whole stem off right down to here, and you can see new lateral growth coming. As soon as I take that off, the plant now puts all the emphasis in developing those new stalks and buds. So very simple. You can do this a couple of times throughout the summer. Salvia, there are a lot of different salvias. Caradonna is one of the easier ones to deadhead. Some of the other ones like May Night and the shorter, it's the same process. You're just gonna have to spend a little bit more time with your plant. But when we're done, then not only is it more aesthetically appealing, but the plant will be putting energy into the younger growth. So again, just remember, always cut above a set of leaves, not below them. And let's take this one off. So this is a big spent bloom. I'm taking this whole thing right down to there. So in a pretty quick amount of time, you can really tidy up the garden bed. And don't worry if you end up going too far down. The plant should stimulate new growth. Okay, so now this is just much more aesthetically pleasing. It doesn't look dead anymore, and the plant will be happier. So now I'm going to move on to the penstemon. There's a lot of different types of penstemon. This is one of the really popular Penstemon digitalis. It's called Husker Red. There's Husker Red, Dark Towers, Black Beard, all of these cultivars that have been produced by mankind to have a reddish foliage. They're all of the Penstemon digitalis species. And my personal opinion is there's no benefit to me in cutting these all down. What I prefer to do is, so these were all, so you can see there's one here still blooming, if the cameraman will zoom in on these. It's the same plant, just is a little bit behind. And so those beautiful little foxglove type trumpet flowers that are adored by bees and hummingbirds, as soon as they dry up, they look like this. And so what I like to do is I don't cut these, I just let them dry, and then I pick them off. I fleece them off, and you can just kind of rub them, and when they're dry, they'll just fall right off. So then what you're left with is just a beautiful little red seed head. This might need another day to just dry a tiny bit more, but literally just come in and fleece it off with your fingers. And so then you still have the beauty of the stem, and then you've got these pretty little maroon seed heads. As most of you know, I don't cut anything back in the fall. This whole garden will, decline, but it will remain standing all winter. And then these seed heads will eventually disperse seeds into the garden, and I'll end up with a lot of little baby penstemon in the spring. I can easily pop those out, give them away, move them around, or whatever. So this probably needs yet another day or so to really dry up, but it'll be very beautiful, and those red seed heads are really pretty even in the winter when there's snow in this garden. Before we jump over to the other penstemon, while we're here, I do want to mention, you'll see all of the bronze fennel coming up. Most of you know I'm a huge fan of bronze fennel. You can see it weaving its way through the garden. This is the host plant for the swallowtail butterfly. I don't see any swallowtail caterpillars on here yet. They could be in their first instar, which is their first phase of development, and they're very, very tiny. Once they get to be about their third instar, then they'll be the more familiar bright yellow, black, and green, and we'll see them just eating this foliage, and they'll spend, close to 7 to 10 days consuming the foliage of the bronze fennel. Eventually, the caterpillar, when it's ready to turn into a chrysalis, will leave this plant. It'll probably come over here into the penstemon or the salvia, attach itself, and then create its chrysalis, and then from there it'll develop into another butterfly. So I'm very, very careful not to cut this down right now, because I fear that I don't want to disturb any first instar caterpillars that might be hosting in here.